what's up, y'all? This your boy Charles Gregory with the beautiful
LaurenSizzle.
And you already know how this go down in the paint.
Yes.
Now, this right here is my favorite portion of the show. And why is this my favorite portion of the show? Because I know you already seen We Talk Weekly and what we do and how we do those interviews. And most of the time when we have our interviews, it's someone with whom I have a tremendous amount of respect. I won't say most of the time, I'm say all the time. But some days it's just a little bit more special than others, right? Because you got somebody that, you know, they seen you kind of when you was doing your thing. And you see them when they kind of started doing their thing. And then y'all just started doing their thing and you just bounced. Well, this young lady right here just bounced like a Super Bowl. I'm trying to tell you, man, I'm so proud of this young lady with whom I have a tremendous amount of respect for. When I say Black Girl Magic, man, Miss Stephanie Humphrey, thank you for coming into the show. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, man.
Happy to be here.
Now, I'm going to tell you why this is special, right? One is because my nonprofit, I have a nonprofit organization that's, concentrates on the youth when it comes to STEAM.
Okay.
Right. And you fall right in line with that because, we work in the technology field, right? We do this entertainment and art. So, it's just like, Charles Gregory, a lot of people, man, so you got to get back to the kids. So I was like, all right, you know what? I got to create something that I can get back to the kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Project STEAM TV, that's what we do. And so it was a wonderful opportunity to bring you down here. So I welcome you to the show, especially to me.
Thank you.
No doubt. So let's talk a little bit about, who you are, who we got today, Sizzle.
So we have the gorgeous Miss Stephanie Humphrey. So this is just the tip of the iceberg, okay?
No doubt.
This young lady, she is doing it all. Hashtag Black Girl Magic.
Hey now.
She takes Black Girl Magic to a whole other level, but she's holding a BS and an MS in engineering from FAMU and Penn.
All that money.
She worked as a senior systems
a lot of
engineer for Lockheed.
I ain't pay for none of it, bro. I ain't had to pay for none of it.
Yes.
No student loans. Hashtag no student loans.
Yes, somebody need to start that. Yes. So she worked as a senior systems engineer for Lockheed Martin for more than 12 years, created a blog, A Matter of Life in Tech, which catapulted her into the world of tech, where she became a tech life expert. She's a media personality, public speaker. She served as a big sister to a little sister in the Big Brothers Big Sisters Independence region. She's a VP of Girls Action Network Inc., committee chair of the Drifters Inc. She's doing STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. She's speaking at different engagements. She's doing voiceover work and you name it, Miss Stephanie Humphrey is doing it.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yes, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
welcome
Wow.
to the show. How are you?
I'm good. I'm blessed.
I know that's right. Now let's jump right into some of the things that you have been doing today, man. I mean, I seen you. I'm gonna jump because we talked a little bit, behind the scenes about your traffic situation.
Right.
So let's talk a little bit about how you jumped into doing that traffic piece, and then how you just kind of graduated.
Kind of made moves. Yeah. So, back when I left my engineering job, when I left Lockheed Martin, I was determined to get into entertainment reporting, lifestyle stuff, that whole thing. Because that's what you see on television. That's what you see. Who are you wearing? Red carpet, yada, yada, yada. So that's kind of where my focus was at that time. And to get... I was trying to get a reel put together, and someone told me, well, hey, if you go to a public access station, kind of like Philly Cam, you can, they'll help you out. If you help out around the studio, answer phones, do some filing, you can get somebody to edit your stuff. So when I did my search, I ended up out at Radnor 21 out on Lancaster Avenue. Yeah. And then right on their homepage, it was like, do you want to host your own show? And I'm like, yes, of course. So I hosted and produced a lifestyle show there for about 6 months, and put together a reel from those clips and sent it out to the news stations here in the city. And at one point just got a call, and they were like, we're looking for fill-in traffic reporters. Are you interested? And I said, sure, why not?
Wow. So before you get into going to that next question, you said that you left your job.
Yes.
As you know, where people can potentially make six figures.
Oh, that was.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Exactly. How do you leave your comfort zone? Because that's your comfort zone.
It wasn't easy, but I just like to say plan and execute. You know, it took me a year and a half between the time that I decided I was going to leave and the time that I actually walked out the door, because there were some things that I wanted to have in place, you know, financially. There were some things I needed to do with, you know, my mortgage and the rest of my bills and things like that to make sure I was covered. And there were relationships that I wanted to build first so that I would have, you know, something to go to instead of just something to run away from. So just in that time frame, again, just saving money and grinding as hard as I could and finding ways to get experience in front of the camera. And once it was time to go, it was time to go.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Now let's jump into you in tech. Why specifically tech? And you have to delve a little bit more into you as a woman in tech and that experience.
Right. So, I mean, I was just the little kid that was good at math and science. I mean, I was a smart kid. Everybody knew me as, you know, the nerd, and I embraced that. I wasn't so socially awkward though. I was the cool nerd. You know, I was in my AP classes during the day, but when I got to the lunchroom, I was banging on the tables, you know, spitting freestyle. So it was a little bit of both.
You say that, I'll make you spit 16.
I mean, I can still do a little something.
I
don't know. I gotta be properly motivated, but I'm just saying I can. You know, I still got a little something.
Some bars.
I still got bars. But yeah, so it was. It was something that I wasn't necessarily discouraged from doing, thankfully. You know, like even in my neighborhood, you know, even though I was the only person that was taking calculus, you know, that wasn't a liability for me. Whereas it can be for some students, especially in black neighborhoods. You corny, you know what I mean? You got to hide your books to get to the house and stuff like that. And I never had to do that. People were actually rooting for me to be successful. It's like, did you get that A on that test? You know, so it wasn't ever something that I felt was extraordinary, because it was always encouraged. I mean, it was sort of demanded, because my mom was like, you better not bring nothing lower than a B home. So I didn't see myself as this unusual thing. I mean, I had my share of dealing with, you know, people that didn't think I deserved to be where I was, and people questioning my abilities and things like that. I think as a woman, and as a black woman especially, you're always going to have to deal with that. I just had such a strong foundation though that it didn't matter, honestly, because then it was just like, you doubting me? Well, let me show you. You know what I mean? So that's kind of my mindset about that and my attitude about that. So yeah, I never really looked at, you know, quote unquote woman into being a woman in tech as this thing that I needed this mantle that I needed to wear, and, you know, on my chest. And I just was a girl that liked math, and engineering seemed like a good fit, you know?
Now you're already, I mean, unfortunately, but fortunately, you have to carry that burden. Or maybe
I
not
don't
a
mind.
burden.
I don't mind, honestly.
And that's what I was about to get into. So now that there is a rise, and I think I spoke to you a little bit about this, it's kind of like this rise in tech, and you're kind of out there in the forefront, you know what I mean? How does that feel, and why again do you think technology is so important that you need to like take that and really push that out in the forefront?
Absolutely. It's just like you said earlier, you got to see it to believe it. And I don't have any problem being that role model for young black girls that, you know, didn't know that this was an option, and didn't consider the idea that they could be a computer scientist or an engineer or something. I mean, I've walked into schools and they look at me like, what? I never seen nobody look like you as an engineer. And I don't have any pride. And I think it's my responsibility, actually, to do that, and all of our responsibilities to do that and get out there and be seen and make ourselves visible, because that's been the problem. I mean, I went to a black college. I went to Florida A&M. You know, shout out to FAMU, Rattlers in the building.
Okay.
And so like all my friends are engineers, and they all look like me. You know what I mean?
Awesome.
There's a lot of us out there. So I think we all need to do a much better job of making ourselves more visible to young people.
Awesome. And why do you think it's becoming kind of like pop culture now? It's kind of like before, being a quote unquote nerd or geek was kind of like,
well,
you know
before Nerds and Geeks wasn't making $1 billion, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got,
Still sexy.
old boy, who was it, Sean, the boy that started Napster? I think he was like one of the first
right.
internet
Dang,
billionaires.
I forgot all about him.
Tom from MySpace, all them cats, and now you got Mark Zuckerberg. Like
Everybody knew Tom.
right?
That was everybody's
it's
friend.
cool because you can see that people are making money,
No doubt.
and they don't necessarily have had to have gone to college. You know, a lot of these cats dropped out of college. You know, you had to go to get the networks and the connects, but you know, you didn't necessarily need a college degree. Some of these people have been coding since they was 12, 13
Yep,
years old.
yep,
You know what I mean? And they're young, they're quasi relatable, and they're making money. That's the
Yes.
thing. They're making like truckloads of money.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, I sent you a few emails, and one of the things I wanted you to come with is, you know, I think it's important for people to kind of know some of the things in tech, some of the new advancements, some of the new kind of like tips in tech. What are some of those things?
AR is going to be huge. That 10's coming out. I already got my 10 is on the way.
Wait, hold on. One second.
Shout out to iPhone team,
Hold on,
iPhone. Shout
Team
out to
Apple,
iPhone
baby.
users.
Team
Yes,
Team
Apple all across the board.
Definitely.
Ladies and gentlemen, I was letting them get that out, but I'm a self-admitted iPhone hater. Team Samsung in the building. Okay, so there you go. And so, AR, you talk about
AR is augmented reality with the new the new 10, excuse me, that's coming out.
which I heard was trash, but go ahead.
No, it's actually quite fabulous. I think AR will finally make it to the mainstream with this phone. So, you know, just being able to use your phone to overlay, you know, even measuring walls. IKEA has an app out now that'll let you see what furniture looks like in your house. You know, all of the advancement with the animojis that Apple are doing, you know what I mean? So AR is going to be huge. It's not going to go anywhere. I think as more people start developing around that, we'll see a lot of cool applications for that. And VR, virtual reality. Once they get that price point down for those goggles,
How about that?
you know, I think, and figure out how to not make people throw up when they wear them. I think we're going to see a lot more use cases for that as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, Samsung been doing that before iPhone did. They just, I don't know why they felt
But
like
the thing,
this is something that-
but the thing is,
Right.
the successful implementation. We need successful implementation.
Yes,
Just doing
just
it,
doing
and
it,
jamming it
exactly.
into a device ain't really doing it if nobody uses that functionality.
Preach.
I think they need to get that
I'm
face
just saying.
recognition together first before we can talk about
I think it
successful
works already,
a
and
hater.
there's AI and machine learning attached to it, so it's only going to work better and better the more you use it. Come on, man,
Yes.
stop
Yes.
crying. I'm being a hater.
It's
Stop
all
being a
right.
hater.
Yes.
That's
IPhone.
yeah.
So there you go.
Straight up hater.
So
Hater.
here we go, right? So so I would like to know what's some of those things that we should. Okay, so you do this 60
second tech break.
on Instagram.
Yes, every
That's
Wednesday at
absolutely
3
amazing.
p.m.
Yes.
New breaks drop. Hit me up if you want to see a break. If you want to
Where
know
can they
something.
find that real quick? Wait.
Instagram. It's on Instagram. You can follow me all around the web at Tech Life Steph.
Right.
And the 60-second tech break drops every Wednesday at 3 p.m.
Yeah, we're gonna get back to that again because I just wanted you to say that as we were kind of like mentioning that. But the 60-second tech drop. Now you just put something out there. Let's talk about your latest 60-second piece. I think that was the link piece for.
Instagram links. Yeah. So it was about not having, because when, you know, back in the day before Instagram got bought out by Facebook,
Right.
you used to be able to share to social networks, and the picture you posted on Instagram would show up on Twitter with no problem. They had that sort of professional courtesy between the two of them. But once Instagram got bought by Facebook,
Right.
they disallowed that functionality. So when you post a picture from Instagram and share it to Twitter, it shows up as an Instagram link, which is horrible because I'm not clicking that link. That's the extra step. I mean, I don't want to see the picture at that point. I'm over it. You know what I mean? I'm on Twitter. I ain't on Twitter to have to go to Instagram every 5 minutes to look at pictures. So my tip was to use an app called If This Then That, IFTTT, and it has a lot of little what they call applets, which are little recipes, really little pieces of code that can do different things. Not for social media, for your calendar, for all kinds of different functionality. But the one in particular that I was talking about was it would allow your picture to show up in line in your tweet, so people wouldn't have to then click back to Instagram to look at the picture. And it's those little things though, and that's what I wanted to do with that segment is just you take a minute, because people's attention spans aren't longer than 60 seconds these days, hardly anyway. Yeah. So you take a minute, literally just a minute, watch something and then go do. It was very important to me for that information to be actionable. Right. Like I can, Steph said I need to change my privacy settings, so let me go on my thing, or Steph said I need to, download this app and go start saving some money on blah, blah, blah. Like I wanted it to be actionable. I mean, it makes it challenging to get that type of actionable information down to a minute every single week. Yeah. But I'm up for that challenge, and I really wanted people to understand that technology is here to help us. And there's all these little things, just little things that only take 60 seconds, but that can change your whole, the whole way you interact with your technology.
Now, you have this show, right? Well, I won't say you have this show, but you're on like this national show. Let's talk a little bit about that, because I've been paying attention and watching some of the gadgets. First of all, where the hell do you get these gadgets from? And two, like, how did you, did they reach out to you and say, look, we want you on the show? Like, how did that work?
Yes, actually they did. I am the technology contributor to the Harry Show with Harry Connick Jr. And thank you. And how it happened is relationships. I talk to students all the time, like, you never know. Right. So you have to treat every opportunity like that could be the one. So from 2014 to 2016, I was working at QVC. I was working for HP as the on-air spokesperson at the QVC shopping channel. And at the same time, I was still doing a little stuff here and there on my own. And one of those little stuffs was a show called The Security Brief with Paul Vialis. It was like region. It wasn't national. It was kind of regional. The young lady, the producer that I worked with there, found my YouTube channel, basically. So all my Fox stuff was there, and every other little thing that I had done was there. And she's like, "Oh my God, we were looking for somebody. We wanted a woman. You're awesome. Come do this thing." And I'm like, "Well, all right." They weren't paying, but it was fine, because it was like more stuff for the real. You know what I mean? They had a decent enough production happening that it would make for good content for me. Right. And it was like, you never know. So I did some segments with them. Unfortunately, that show ended up getting canceled. I think the host had some health issues. But fast forward 9 months later, that same producer reaches back out to me, because now she's working on Harry.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
Relationships. Yeah. It's all about relationships, man. Yeah, all about relationships. I literally only did maybe 3 segments for them total over the course of 2 or 3 months. Yeah. And almost a year later, I'm on a nationally syndicated talk show. So you gotta be prepared for everything. You can't look at anything as a small opportunity. Well, I mean, this is just little stuff, so I ain't really gonna prep as hard as I do for something. Everything needs to be as if it was the thing. You know what I mean? And you're shot, because you never know.
No doubt.
You never know.
Unbelievable, man. I'm so excited for you. Now, on the show, sometimes we do this thing. Now, this is one of the questions that I didn't send to you.
Okay.
Because you got to pull it out your bag.
Okay.
Because you're pretty open. All of this information is out there. But what's the one thing, right, that you can tell us, because we like to get the exclusive, that no one else knows about Miss Stephanie Humphrey?
Ooh. Yeah. That's tough. Well, just because I'm pretty much an open book. Yeah. I mean, my people, right? My people's know.
Digging that pencil pocket, that change pocket,
right. That nobody knows. Like, I literally have no secrets. Honestly, like, somebody know. I mean, I have like obscure facts about Stephanie.
That might work.
But I don't have like. Well, I played the viola. When I was in I played the cello for a year when I was in 5th grade, and then I played the viola for a few years after that. Cool. And I actually, here's the thing that people don't know. I was robbed, man. I had a audition to be in. I'm from Pittsburgh originally, to be in the Pittsburgh Junior Symphony. So like one step down from the Pittsburgh Symphony, and my accompanist sabotaged my audition totally. Because there was another girl there that was playing the same piece, and totally played completely differently for me than he did for her.
Wow.
Yeah, I was robbed.
That sound like Mean Girls.
I was totally robbed.
Mean
Seriously,
Girls.
totally robbed. I felt some kind of way about that too.
I would too.
I was
Wow,
robbed.
that's
Yeah.
all right. Well, we love you. And maybe if that happened for a reason.
Right, because I could be sitting in first chair in Pittsburgh right now and not be in Tech Life stuff.
That's
So
right.
you never know.
That's the beautiful
You know,
thing.
God always got a plan. God always got a
Yes,
plan.
Yes.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's Miss Stephanie Humphrey. Where can they find you and get all that information about you again?
At Tech Life Steph everywhere on the web.
All right, know that.
Follow me.
Now we're about to cut to a little break. Can you stay over one other side? Because we're about to get into like.
Sure, I can hang out.
I know you go. So there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Miss Stephanie Humphrey, good friend of mine, good friend of yours truly. But I don't want you to go anywhere because when we come back, we got that I don't even want to talk about it. But we'll be right back after this is done. We talk weekly after the talk with your boy Charles Gregory and the beautiful
LaurenSizzle.
And we'll be right back after this. Holla.